Yo, what's up guys, it's Monkey here, your boy is back for another video. We are going to be doing a Dragon Ball What If. Yes, a Dragon Ball What If daily uploads continue. Your boy has been uploading daily. We have been smashing it on the channel. We've been growing so much. But today's What If is going to be on what a Dragon Ball What If. I've already done two, which is what if Dabura turned good and what if Goten was born in the future. And this What If is going to be on what if Super Saiyan never existed. Now, you might be a bit confused. What do you mean? Super Saiyan doesn't exist? Yes, Super Saiyan does not exist. So Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, and Super Saiyan Rose all just don't exist. They just don't exist. They just never were in this timeline, I guess. So in our what if, there's just going to be no Super Saiyan whatsoever. So let's dive into this what if. So the first place we go to is Planet Vegeta. Would Frieza still blow up Planet Vegeta? Yes. Now, they did say that Frieza blew it up because of the Super Saiyan and the Super Saiyan God, because he feared them. But I still think that Frieza would blow up the planet. And if you're not convinced that he wouldn't blow it up, I still think Beerus would blow it up. But I think that Frieza would probably, maybe a little later than he did, he would be a little less pressured into blowing Vegeta up, but eventually he'd probably just get bored of it and blow up Vegeta. The events of Dragon Ball and the Saiyan Saga all take place as usual due to the fact that Super Saiyan is just not needed. So we're going to go to the place where Super Saiyan really matters, which is on Namek. Krillin has just died. Goku is infuriated. How dare Frieza do this? How dare he? Goku would scream in rage. His ki would erupt around him. However, he wouldn't transform into a Super Saiyan. Instead, his ki would just skyrocket. Goku was getting a power boost off of rage. He charged towards Frieza, kicking him straight in the face, sending him flying. Goku would then power up to a Kaioken times 20. He would then fly towards Frieza, kicking and punching him multiple times. Frieza was getting destroyed by Goku, who was in a complete state of rage. Frieza still goes on, and Goku still fights Frieza. Now, Goku is fighting against Frieza right now, and it is not looking good for him. He is kind of losing. And Frieza still says he's going to blow up the planet, the 5 minutes. That still all happens as usual. I don't see why that wouldn't happen. And Goku is a bit screwed. He doesn't really know what to do. He's thinking, and then he realizes he's going to have to probably sacrifice himself. So Goku flies towards Frieza. He kicks Frieza in the stomach and then kicks him up into the sky. Goku powers up to a Kaioken times 100. He can feel the bones in his body beginning to break, the muscles tearing, his arms and limbs are being torn apart, but he does it anyways. He charges up a Kamehameha and he fires it towards Frieza. Frieza gets completely obliterated along with Namek. However, Goku barely survives. His body is completely destroyed. He can feel his life fleeting, but he fights for his life. His limbs feel like they were about to rip off. Even just firing a very powerful Kamehameha, Kaioken times 100, was already way too much pressure for him. Goku would crawl and barely make it to Frieza's ship. His bones were so aching, he could barely even move. He barely made it to Frieza's ship and flew off. The next events all take place with Mecha Frieza and King Cold. That all takes place as the same, but Trunks arrives. Mecha Frieza and King Cold are there. Now, Trunks doesn't have Super Saiyan, but his base form is a lot stronger than Super Saiyan. Because in his timeline, him and Gohan trained a lot more to cover up for the fact that they didn't have Super Saiyan because of the massive power gap between them and the androids, so they just trained their base forms a lot more. Now, Gohan and Trunks, still that future still plays off the same. I don't really see why it would change just because of Super Saiyan. But yeah, now, Trunks would fight against King Cold and Frieza, but this was very different to the original. Trunks was very much struggling to beat King Cold and Frieza, but he would charge up a full power Buster Cannon, catching Frieza off guard. Trunks would obliterate Mecha Frieza. However, he was not so fortunate with King Cold. King Cold would be absolutely destroying Trunks, beating him into the wall. We would then see all of the Z Fighters arrive on the scene, seeing Trunks getting beaten. Vegeta, Piccolo, and Gohan would all power up, flying towards him, fighting him. They were all getting screwed. They didn't know what to do. He was just too strong. King Cold would probably just wipe out all of them. King Cold then smashed Trunks into the wall, sending him flying outside. Trunks was pretty fucking pissed. He didn't know what to do, and he was just fucked. He had come back to stop King Cold, but he was failing. Vegeta was infuriated. King Cold, he is the reason Frieza got the Saiyan race. King Cold is the one who enslaved the Saiyans and then gave them all over to the stupid brat of Frieza. It was King Cold's fault. Vegeta screamed. He powered up. He needed to get stronger. Piccolo was powering up too. He had an idea. Piccolo would fuse with Kami. Piccolo flew off, telling them that they needed to stall for him. Vegeta said to Piccolo, "What are you doing?" "Fine, I'll stall." Piccolo would then get to Kami and say, "There's no time, Kami. We have to fuse." Piccolo and Kami would then fuse, putting Piccolo an insane amount of power. He would then fly back to King Cold, seeing Vegeta, Trunks, and Gohan all just being beaten into the wall. Beaten. Piccolo would come, and with all three of them, they were actually overwhelming King Cold. Gohan was kind of just firing ki blasts at a distance, because, and they were all fighting against Piccolo, and they were just losing very badly, to be honest with you. And they didn't know what to do. What should they do? King Cold laughed, saying, "You put up a good challenge, but now it is where it ends." He screamed. Piccolo was shocked. He powered up to his third form. Yes, King Cold was in his third form. He laughed, saying, "You don't stand a chance." He would then fire a death beam, piercing Piccolo. Piccolo would cough up blood. He would then power up and start fighting against third form King Cold. Now, Piccolo, I would say, was around equal to third form King Cold, so he was putting up a pretty good fight. King Cold laughed, saying, "You are an interesting Namekian. I have never seen a Namekian of powers such as yours." Piccolo then kicked Cold in the stomach, saying, "I know you have a final form, just like your son." King Cold laughed, saying, "I suppose I should show it to you then." Piccolo, however, was having none of it. He fired an energy blast straight at Cold, and Cold dodged it, saying, "I thought you wanted to see it." Piccolo flew towards him, telling him to shut up. Piccolo had to charge up a special beam cannon. He didn't have any other option. What was he supposed to do? He had to charge up a special beam cannon. He told Vegeta and Trunks they would have to fight against King Cold and keep him occupied. Now, Trunks was about the same strength as second form King Cold, so he was doing pretty decent against King Cold now, because he had gained a few Zenkais from fighting him. Now, Trunks, Gohan, and Vegeta were all fighting against King Cold. Vegeta was pretty pissed off that they were letting Piccolo charge up a special beam cannon, and King Cold wiped them all away. He then powered up to his final form, and Piccolo fired a special beam cannon. King Cold retaliated with a massive death beam that clashed with the special beam cannon. Piccolo tried to fire it and push, but this power, final form King Cold, was too much. His death beam beat the special beam cannon. Piccolo's beam clash had been lost. He was then smashed by the beam. The death beam pierced through his body. Piccolo vomited up blood, falling to the ground. Piccolo may as well have been defeated. The next one we saw was Gohan, who would get swiped away by King Cold. Vegeta and Trunks were the last ones left. Trunks knew he was probably going to die. He then said to Vegeta, "Vegeta, no. Father." Vegeta was shocked. Future Trunks? This was his son? What? He then thought. He thought about how Planet Vegeta had been enslaved by King Cold. He thought about this was his son? He couldn't let him die. Vegeta didn't even think. He needed to get stronger. He demanded to get stronger. He remembered the power of a Nuzaru. Yes, that is what I'm talking about. Vegeta remembered the power of a Nuzaru. He sensed it within him. He screamed. The rocks began to fly everywhere. Vegeta's eyes turned yellow, and a golden aura flashed. Vegeta was in the Ikari wrathful form. King Cold was shocked. What was this state? A golden aura was around Vegeta, his eyes yellow. He had achieved the power of a Nuzaru without even actually transforming into a Nuzaru. Trunks was shocked at this revelation. But meanwhile, Krillin had got Senzu Beans and was now giving it to Piccolo and Gohan. Gohan received the power boost due to a Zenkai, and Piccolo witnessed Vegeta in the Ikari form. So Vegeta's Ikari form would still be yellow. It's not going to be green like Broly's, just because I don't think that Broly, the actual Ikari form, is yellow. I think that just it was green because Broly is the legendary Super Saiyan. The next thing we would see is Vegeta charging towards King Cold. All of the other Saiyans charged towards King Cold. This would be too much. King Cold was actually starting to get overwhelmed. Piccolo charged up a special beam cannon. Vegeta was destroying King Cold. Now, Vegeta received a 10 times multiplier in power, and Vegeta was growing in strength because of rage boosts and also Zenkais, and they were just annihilating King Cold. Vegeta was being given Senzu Beans by Krillin, and he would tap out, eat the Senzu Bean, get a Zenkai, and then fly back into the battle. King Cold was actually starting to get overwhelmed, and Trunks could see this. Trunks then told Piccolo to fire it. King Cold looked and saw the special beam cannon. It pierced his body. However, King Cold had survived. He was clinging on for life. He chucked a Destructo Disc similar to the one that Frieza threw against Goku. Piccolo tried to dodge it, but it came back. That Destructo Disc then came back, slicing King Cold. Yes, King Cold died the way Frieza did in the original, by his own attack. King Cold was infuriated. He crawled. His arm had been chopped off. He had a massive hole in his body, and his whole body had been severed in half. He tried to fire a blast at Vegeta, but Vegeta said, "You fool! You thought you could enslave the Saiyans and get away with it? I am Prince Vegeta!" He charged up a Gallic gun. Wrathful Ikari Vegeta fired the beam. It easily defeated King Cold in a beam struggle. King Cold was obliterated by the Gallic gun. We could see the purple beam in space. Vegeta laughed. He had defeated King Cold and avenged the Saiyans. So, that is the what if. The events with Goku coming down and them learning about future Trunks being from the future, I believe, would just kind of take place as the same in the original. They would then train for 3 years for the androids. But the androids, I think they're going to be for another part in this what if. I think we should stop there with the Frieza and, I guess, King Cold arc. Now, Goku, Gohan, and Vegeta would all train loads. Vegeta still would go off into space, mainly to just master the Ikari form and grow greatly in strength. Goku would still train bears with Piccolo and Gohan. And, yeah, the androids would arrive with 19 and 20. Now, the Dragon team had been training. Find out what happens in the next part. Now, if you did enjoy, make sure you leave a like and comment down below. While you're there, subscribe to the channel. Your boy is growing so fast. And yeah, I'll see you all laters.